Peace, peace. What's poppin', my weebles? It's your boy, Sincere Seven, coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. The Pack, representing the House of Genesis, which is the healing house. But actually, I came here to talk about something a little different today. Um, you know, I've had a long walk, and I've done quite a bit. And it's always been community based. It's always been forward facing. You can catch me somewhere in the community, knee deep in something. And how I started out was in actually the cannabis industry, and I grew cannabis. I sold cannabis. I installed cannabis grow rooms. I created the cannabis infused wine. So that was, the industry that I had a lot of success in. Um, Now, with that, the love of gardening took me into my backyard, right, where we would plot, different fruits or vegetables or different things for growing, right, and in different houses and different places that I've owned, we've set up different plots and different types of, grow spaces. And so, with my company, Go Green Installations, which is basically it's an indoor grow room installation company, but we do, cannabis grow rooms, we do mushroom cultivation rooms, we do adult playrooms, we do hidden entrances, right, Murphy doors, smoke rooms for people who want to have a place to smoke in the house, but it doesn't, affect the rest of the house, and it takes all the air out and freshens the air. All this, you know what I'm saying? We do all of that type of things, right? And installations. So it's like adult fun stuff, right? But another thing that we do is the outdoor gardening plots. This is something I've always enjoyed, and usually, um, the majority of the clients were seasoned individuals, right? Because they just want to work in the garden, but they don't have the ability to install raised beds and put in soils and, mix everything up and carry these big bags of soil and perlite and vermiculite and different, things like that. And so, I would come out and set up the gardening plots, whether it be out on the balconies for the individuals who stayed in different elderly homes and high rise types of buildings, or individuals who had homes with backyards and fenced in, and they wanted to set up different types of plots. So for me, it just made sense because, you're supposed to take something you love doing and turning it into a profession. So for me, I love gardening. I love tilling the earth. I love planting things. I love nursing those things into a certain state and watching them vegetate and then transform and go to their puberty that plants go through, and then start to fruit and flower and, go through these different phases of changes. And then when they're done, we get to consume them, eat them, jar them, jelly them, create beautiful meals, create beautiful displays on the table, all from your garden. So for me, it's just something that I love. But also, it's not only the installing of the garden, but it's the actual standard operating procedures of the garden. There's an art to gardening, and not everybody knows it, right? For instance, what temperament zone are you in, right? So for us being in the northern climate, we start our sowing of seeds a little bit later, like this week, next week, right? Things like that. Once the threat of frost or very little frost is coming in the near future, because you can cover them up with different things, right? So it's like now would be right, whereas people in lower regions might have started gardening 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and it depends on which region you're in, right? Not to mention, the rise and the set of the sun and where that goes throughout the season and where the sun falls on the plot of gardening land that you plan on using. This is something else that you want to understand so that you can understand and know how much sunlight is going to be put over what part of the gardens throughout the gardening season. Okay. Another thing is the gardening season, because everything doesn't go out into the garden as soon as spring starts. There is, certain things such as, let's say, your spinaches and your lettuces and your leafy greens that you could get all of those started first. Those are spring types of things, right? And then you got more of your cold weather types of fruit and vegetables, right? Like your Brussels sprouts, because I'm gonna do some tower Brussels sprouts this year for sure. Things like your pumpkins and squashes. So there's seasonal vegetables, and through as you go through, you can actually use some of the same garden beds 2 times. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is you're growing. Um, Not to mention the north, south, east, and west. Which side of the garden is best for what, right? Because some things need to go towards the northern walls. Like for me, this is where I inoculate my mushroom cardboards and plants up under the ground in soil. And then you can sit like all of my pots. So the things like my strawberries and my blueberries and maybe my tomatoes and peppers and everything that's going to be in pots, I have those pots on top of where I inoculated the mushroom garden up under it, right towards the northern wall, because that's where your mushrooms are most likely to be most abundant, right? But I'm going to put my corn at the southern gate. I'm going to put sunflowers off to the east. These are to attract the pollinators. See, and the pollinators are to increase the overall abundancy in your garden, because the more pollinators, the more fruits and vegetables you have. It's a science to all of this, right? And okay, also prepping your soil. Different soils require different environments. For your blueberries, you want it to be very acidic. So we have to add things into the soil to cause it to be acidic throughout the entire season, or we know which adamants to put on and when, right? So there is a art to gardening, but there is a science to it as well. And it's best that you have somebody that can give you the science or set it up. So what we do is we do plots and plans, right? For your gardens, right? Some people get pots and pans. We do plots and plans, right? So what does that mean? We'll come out and we'll actually plot out your garden. We'll make up the most amount of room of how many plots you can put out there, where to put them, where your walk space will be, where will you sit and just relax and read a book in the middle of the spring when your garden is flourishing and there's all of these butterflies and bees and water sprinkling, and it's just a beautiful sight, right? You plot that out, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the plans, right? And the plans is, what do you plant? What do you plant? When do you plant it? And where do you plant it? So we'll have a general plan that's letting you know where to put which vegetables and fruit, right? When to put them out there, when to harvest them, how to harvest them. Some things you don't pull it all the way out. You go out there and just tear pieces off. Like your salads and stuff, you don't pull those up. You just tear pieces off. Tear a few leaves off of this one, this one, this one, and then this one, this one, this one, and then go in the house, make your salad for the night. You know what I'm saying? And in a couple of days, it's gonna grow more, and you can like really eat from your garden throughout the season, right? So knowing what to harvest, when, all of those types of things, and how to utilize your garden at full efficiency. When this one is done, okay, now go ahead and plant these. Now go ahead and put this down, because this is a colder weather crop and it's going to thrive during the next couple months while we're going into fall, right? And so that is something that Go Green Installation does. So we don't just do installations of grow rooms for marijuana and mushrooms and fun rooms and all of that. We actually do gardening plots as well. So if you didn't know about Go Green Installations, now you know. And we work within the U.S. boundaries. That's another beautiful thing about us. We are not limited to just Michigan. We actually will go and set up grow rooms, like I said, Murphy doors, gardening plots, all over the U.S. There's a slight travel fee, but it's not very expensive at all. So if you're interested, you know how to contact us. Just want to explain that because it is the season. We're working on our own right now. So we've got some mushroom beds out there going. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magical mushroom plots. We just put in an additional mushroom plot. We've got an 8 feet by 3 feet double tier, and that's generally going to be the general gardening tier that I'm going to use this year. It's 8 feet by 3 feet. I'm going to put approximately 12 of them in the backyard. We're going to have everything from corn, squash, zucchini, carrots, spinach, lettuce, kale, jalapenos, blueberries, strawberries, onions, asparagus. Definitely herbs, different herbs and things. So we're going in. So if you want to do some gardening, peace, baby. Oh my goodness, I'm going live right now. You are so beautiful. So if you Oh, okay, go ahead, get one now. So if you are interested in getting you a gardening plot installed or getting some plots and plans for a space that you already have. Some people have already gardened in their gardens and not been very successful, but they already have the setups. So all they need is plots and plans. They don't need an installation, right? So if you're interested in anything like that, contact us, contact me, Go Green Installations, however it be. But other than that, man, this has been great. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on anything that I didn't actually speak about, collard greens in the winter. Yes, Miss Bliss. Yes. Peace, Miss Bliss. It's good to see you. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that I didn't address, you know how to reach me. Other than that, I love y'all and tell somebody you love them in the language they can understand it in. Peace.